My name's David Raffinengo. It's a real estate business. I've been in real estate since the year 2000, so I've been in the business a while. Um, a little while ago, about 4 years ago, I started a team. I'm with Keller Williams um, in the Tysons area, but I started a team called VivaNova. Um, and there's a little backstory to our logo and all that, which maybe I'll get into later.
Yeah,
But
let's hear it.
yeah, I wanted to have some representation of my roots from Uruguay. I was
Uruguay.
just mentioning, and the son is a Uruguayan artist, famous Uruguayan artist. I tweaked it a little bit, obviously, because of artist rights and all
Yeah.
that. But yeah, there's kind of that background, and the Viva Nova, the Viva makes it sound kind of Latino, kind of
A little spice.
little
Yeah.
spice. So yeah, Viva Nova is the name of our team, Viva Nova Homes. We have an awesome team of myself, two business partners, two agents, and an assistant, a virtual assistant.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I love that. I love how you're implementing technology. That's
Yes.
great.
Yes.
What inspired you to pursue a career in real estate? And how has your passion for customer service influenced your approach?
Oh wow. Yeah, I do have a huge passion for customer service. That's kind of my background from before starting in real estate. I was a customer service manager in the airline here in Dulles Airport, not too far away. Um, And at the time when I got into real estate, it was more so for financial reasons, more of a mission we had. Um, Back then, my wife and I had a mission of going back to Uruguay, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, to move back. We wanted to kind of go back. I'd lived there many years, and that was kind of like our long life mission to go back. And it's like, we're not going to get there on the salary of the airline salary. So I was doing the dual career thing for a little bit
Mm.
until I realized how much I loved real estate and how passionate I was and how I actually was getting good at it. So I decided to leave the airline and do real estate full time in 2003.
Wow.
That's how I got into it. And the passion for customer service, I always say I think customer service is like a way of life. It's not so, I mean, you can get training, you can get taught, different things about customer service, but I also feel like it's just a way of life. It's holding the door for someone. It's right.
Absolutely.
It's giving your seat for someone. It's just helping the elder woman at the supermarket with her groceries. That's customer service. It's
Yes.
just a way of life of
Yes.
being kind, right?
Absolutely. I like the way you put that. It's a way of life. It's not just like,
Yeah.
okay, 9 to 5, time to stop having customer service. Like where you go, like it's part of life every
Right,
day. Yeah.
right. So I just have that passion, and we implement that on our team, of course.
It's awesome. And now you were doing the dual career thing for a bit. How was it balancing that? Was that a
Oh my
struggle for a bit?
gosh, yes, that was a struggle. So to take people back in time a little bit, I started in 2000, so this is back in the day before technology, before we had phones that we were checking our email or if someone signed a document or something, right? We had to fax our
Mm,
contracts.
yeah,
Some people don't know what a fax is, but you would have to put it in a machine. It
paper.
takes forever, and then when it gets to the other end, it was kind of all a little blurry, and
Not
then
the best quality.
not the best quality. And you had to, negotiate a price. You had to cross it off, put the new price, send it in with initials, meet with the people in person, the initials, send it in. By the time you went back and forth with the faxing, it would be all you couldn't read the
Oh
contract.
man.
But balancing imagine that kind of world that we're living
Yeah.
in, and I was working at United Express. United Express is here at Dulles Airport. We had 300 flights a day, and I was one of the managers, customer service managers. So I was running around all the gates, putting out fires here and there, right?
Yeah.
And in the middle of trying to maybe negotiate a contract. I mean, at that time, I was telling maybe anywhere from 5 to 7 homes a year, so it
Hmm.
wasn't a huge amount of business I was doing. That was part time.
Yeah.
But when I had something going on, I had to be on phone calls. I had to go to the bathroom, make a phone call, and also then go to the admin office to
Oh my
send a
gosh.
fax in the middle. It was a lot. It
Yeah,
was a lot
I'm sure.
balancing that. I
And
love
then
it.
again, with the technology not being where it was or where it is today,
Yeah.
kudos to you making it work, right? With the
But it's funny that I always say I feel like if I was the agents that are starting today and have a part-time job, I have these conversations with a lot of newer agents that have part-time jobs. I almost feel like it's harder today because of
The
there's so
technology.
much.
Mm.
Right? Like, it's overwhelming. It's like, "Where do I do? What do I start? Do I do podcasts?
Yeah, right?
Do I do, like, videos?
To
Do
work
I
on
did
the
TikToks?
listings,
Do I"
the marketing
Yeah,
design. Yeah.
exactly. It's kinda like they're not sure, like, where to start because there's just so much information out there.
Yeah.
Back in my day, it was just like you have a desk, you have an actual physical phone, make calls, right? Like, that was kinda it,
Yeah.
right?
No, that's a great point, though. You're right. Because maybe all of this technology does overwhelm people and they're just like, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to focus on this. And then they neglect that side because they
Right,
don't know where to
right.
start.
Right, right.
True, true, true. And then can you share a memorable experience where your commitment to customer service made a significant impact on a client's real estate journey?
Oh, wow. I've shared this story before, and I feel like it's really impactful because it really shows, I think, as a real estate professional, how we should act all the time. And it's always about them. It's always about our clients. It's not about us. Obviously, we make this is our livelihood. This is what we make a living selling real estate. But I had some clients. This is years ago, probably 2005 timeframe. Had a family that was wanting to buy a home, but they wanted to buy a home that had a big basement because they were going to run a daycare
Mm.
business in the basement. So it had a certain requirements it needed legally, right, to fit the mold of what they needed to do. We literally spent like 5 months nonstop every weekend going out to see homes.
Well,
And they finally fell in love with this one house. And once again, remember this is kind of before technology, before real Google. I don't know if Google Maps existed back then, but it wasn't really a thing to look at Google Maps and stuff. But the home they fell in love with had a huge, like a large, like lot of trees in the back.
okay.
But behind those trees there were power lines,
Oh,
like the big power lines,
hmm,
right? You could barely see them through the trees. And this is like 5 months in, every weekend going out, they fall in love with this house. It meets all their requirements. And I talked them out of it. I said, you're going to run a daycare. People are going to have issues with power lines being right behind those
yep,
trees, right?
yep,
And they're kind of like, well, we don't care, David. You can barely see them. I'm like, well, people are going to care, and it's not, it's going to affect your business. So I basically talked them out of something that for 5 months we were looking for something, and I could have just gone with a flow. And
and be like, okay,
but it's all about the service. It's all about our customers, right? And it's all about our clients making sure
looking out for them.
what's in their best interest at the end of
Hmm.
the day. Because when they go sell that home, it's not just it could affect the business, but if they go sell that home, it's also going to affect their sale because it might take longer. So at that time, everything was kind of selling. But if they sell in a time where the market's down, it might take them a year just to sell the house because there are the power lines, right? So
Yeah.
I talked them out. It was kind of like a proud moment of like, that was the right thing to do.
Yeah, no, and that's kind of scary because we never know, knock on wood, when
Yeah.
something crazy could happen and there's a storm and it's just right there, like, no.
And they ended up finding a better house at the end.
Yay,
Yeah,
good, good,
better
good.
house. Yeah, so
And they got their
it all worked out.
their daycare and everything.
Yeah, got it
Perfect.
all set up. Yeah,
See a happy ending.
absolutely.
Love it. And then this is kind of like another question with balancing, but with today, with your life as opposed to two jobs.
Hmm.
How do you balance your professional life in real estate with your family commitments?
Wow. This is a really This is totally my opinion because a lot of people operate differently when it comes to this. Some people are very set on like, I only work until 6 o'clock and I shut my phone off kind of thing. Um, I'm very good, I feel like, in balancing both. But there's a secret to doing it, and I feel like you need to prioritize and understand what's priority with your personal life or your professional life. Because if you have a client that's in the middle of some sort of negotiation and they can't sleep at night, right? And they have a question and it's 8:30 p.m. on a Sunday or 10:30 p.m. on a Sunday and they're really struggling because it's a huge decision for them.
Yeah.
This is the biggest investment of their life.
Yep.
You kind of have to take that call,
Hmm.
right? You have to. And the family somehow needs to, like, they need to understand that that is like what you do for a living. I've been doing this so long, my family and my kids like understand this.
Yeah.
And that does not mean that I'm on the phone all the time in front of them or whatever. I'm very good about when it's my kids' time, when it's time to be with my family. If it's soccer practice or I'm like, kicking the ball with my son or watching a movie or whatever it is, it's my family time.
Yes.
And I let people know if I'm in the middle of some negotiation, hey, this happened this weekend. I was like talking to a client, texting, and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna be at the movies for a couple hours, just FYI." So like, there's no like sense of like, "Oh, he's not answering,"
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So you set the expectations on both sides, right?
Yes,
But I definitely, it's really important to be present in both. You get in your full attention to your family, your personal things, your friends, whatever, and then your full attention when you're dealing with your clients, right? You can't be doing both at the
at
same
the same
time.
time.
Multitasking is not a real thing.
Yeah.
You're not doing any of them well, right? Gotta focus on one and then focus on the
That's
other. I
right.
think, yeah,
I love that, and I love that you have a clear communication with your clients and with your family, just talking to them. A lot of
right.
people are just like, there's no communication, and so a lot of arguments arise from that. Like, hey, for your clients, I'm going to be at the movies. Just so you
Yeah,
know, I'm not going to be your client. I'm on vacation here. I'll get to you when I can.
yeah. And even with my kids, like I'll set the expectation with my kids like days ahead of time.
See,
Like
that's
on
right.
Monday, if I know on Wednesday I have something going on, I'll set that expectation. Like so, I'll spend really good quality time Monday and Tuesday, but I already set that expectation on Monday. Hey, on Wednesday I have an event I have to go to, but this is what we're gonna do. When I get back, we can do this or that, whatever, right? But
Yeah.
they already know. They're not like, oh, Dad, you're leaving again or whatever. Right? They kind of pre set their mind that that's how it's gonna be, and then we have a great time before and then after. But like they know
That's
that that's
awesome.
yeah,
No, I love that, and I hope that if other entrepreneurs listen to this, that they're just like, well, duh, why didn't I think of that?
yeah.
Just communication. Just let them know ahead of
It's
time. And
setting the expectations on both ends,
mhm,
right?
I
Really.
love it. Thanks for sharing that. I think that's
Yeah.
awesome advice.
Thank you.
And then, what strategies do you employ to stay updated with the ever evolving real estate market in Vienna?
Um, it's yeah, you have to be. We work. I work with Keller Williams. Gary Keller, the founder of Keller Williams, says that we have to be the economist of choice in their business. Everyone can get on Zillow or Redfin or all these other platforms out there and look at what's happening with real estate. And they sometimes they're so into like a certain neighborhood they know more than you in some cases. And that's why we as professionals need to be three steps ahead of the data and the information
Yeah,
to because they see things or they hear on the news certain information and sometimes all news channels direct the narrative in the direction they kind of want to go in. But it's really important to stay on top of what's happening in the market, like really study the market, truly know like what are how long things are taking to sell. We study something all the time called month supply of inventory, which is like how long does it take for a certain area to sell all the inventory that's on the market if nothing else came on today. And
hmm
that's something we study very closely almost on a weekly, monthly basis all the
yeah,
time to know like what's happening and if there's a trend happening and things going down here. So we share this information and we do our own little versions of webinars and things to kind of share this out to and seminars in person, market updates, just to give people updates on what's really happening.
yeah.
And specifically, I live in Vienna. I work a lot in Vienna. Um, there's rarely a home that comes on the market that I'm not aware of because I'm always paying attention,
Nice.
right?
That's what it's
And if
there.
I haven't been in it, I've looked at it and studied it and seen why it's been on the market long, why it sold quickly,
Yeah.
like what did it have, what features. So I'm like really, so when somebody asks me a question like, what's the up with this house? Yeah, well, this one sold quicker because it had that third garage and whatever. It had a large lot and it was back in the trees, and this one has a slope or whatever. So like exactly, and people like
All the
respect that.
details. Yeah.
Yeah, and they understand like, okay, this guy's he knows what he's
He
talking
knows. He
about.
cares. Yeah, that's awesome. No, that's great. I want to ask you about marketing for yourself or with your team on Keller Williams. What are you guys doing to advertise like the type of services that you have? I know you're big on customer service. Like, how are you getting the word out there about you and yourself and your team to clients? Are you on social media? Are you making videos? Are you putting graphics, photos? Tell me.
A little bit of a combination of everything. So I mentioned earlier today we have a virtual assistant.
Yes. Talk to me about that.
She is awesome. We use a company called Cyberbacker. Her name's Joy. She's been with us now going on 3 years, and she's amazing. She's like so when you bring on a virtual assistant, you bring on a need that you have, whether it's it could be making phone calls or marketing or digital, social media. She does like all our marketing basically. Anytime we need a flyer or any social media post, she creates it, right?
Hmm.
She'll run it by us like, hey, does this look good? She'll like we give her an idea or she comes up with ideas and gives us ideas. So she does a lot of that for us. So we're on all medias, like every single platform you can imagine,
Yeah.
we're on.
Awesome.
Obviously Instagrams are kind of our big focus, but we're big. We about a year ago we started getting bigger on LinkedIn, for example, because that's another like more professional platform. but we cross post a lot, right, of things that
Hmm.
we have here. But we do videos, we do similar podcasts, like informational, educational type
Yeah.
podcasts. We have interviews with a lender or a title company and just ask questions that people
Sweet.
may not know. And we do little cat cuts or whatever. We do
Oh,
little
yeah,
cats,
yeah.
right?
I love that you
Right,
do that.
right, right. Those little cats, because the interview could be like 15 minutes long, but then we kind of segment it in little portions.
Yep.
And we do that, and we have, our YouTube, and we're on every platform you can imagine. And we're just constantly trying to push that. And like I was mentioning, we do webinars for our clients, and post it out public. We have people that sometimes join us from like Eventbrite that just joined
Yeah,
to hear information. So from a marketing perspective, we're really big on social media and trying to get out there more and more and more.
that's awesome.
We don't have like thousands and thousands of followers, but we're getting there.
Yeah, it takes time. Everybody starts out somewhere, and
Yeah.
it's better to do it organically in the way that you're doing it. And with
Yes.
time, you'll see that.
Yeah.
As long as you post and you're consistent, I think
Mm,
your growth will be great.
yeah. And something I'd like to touch on that we're trying to change things up a little bit. I guess it's related a little bit to this question of how to reach other demographics, as well as that we're really big, and I think we're really good at the both ends of the spectrum in terms of like dealing with first time home buyers and then the seniors, like the
Mhm.
people that need more of the hand holding per
Yeah,
se, right? Those are the ones that I think we really shine in, because it takes a lot of patience, a lot of hand holding. First time buyers sometimes aren't ready just right now. They want to buy, but they don't know what to do, or they need to save money or whatever. So we kind of guide them through that until they're ready. There's people we work with for a couple years before they actually buy.
yeah,
And then the seniors are overwhelmed, right? Like they're just overwhelmed. They don't know what to do. Most of them don't want to move, right?
yeah.
They have all their stuff and they don't know, like, what do I do with all my things? And where do I go? Like, what are my options? Do I stay here? Do I retrofit my home? Do I go to 55 plus? Do I need assisted living? Like all these options. So we started a division within our company called Silver Horizons,
Hmm.
which is focused on the senior
That's
aspect.
awesome. Oh my God.
So we're really focused on that, teaming up with, like, partnering up with like assisted living communities and assisted living people that focus on locating assisted living different communities, home care people, life care managers, and
Yeah,
that kind of stuff. Just really, obviously the decluttering and going through all that stuff, which is the biggest part, like they're struggling with. So
yeah.
we kind of quarterback all the efforts behind that.
That is awesome. That literally was going to be like my next question. How do you tailor your services to meet the unique needs of each client, whether they're buying or selling?
Yeah,
And you literally touched
yeah,
on that.
I foresaw that question. Yeah,
You
so
did.
that's something we're really focused on, is because um, all the baby boomers, there's 10,000 baby boomers moving every day in this country.
What? It's a lot.
10,000,
Yeah.
right? So, and it's going to continue like this until like apparently 2040. So there's a big need for people like us to get out there and really advocate and service these folks, right? But like in a caring way, not just to like, hey, I want to sell your house, let's paint it and like,
Yeah. Yeah.
get
Yeah.
you out. Like sometimes they want to stay there, and we can figure out a way maybe to make that work, but they need to understand the realities of how much that costs, right?
Hmm.
And we go through that information. We're like, realize that you have to have the support to do this, right?
Yeah.
Because if you fall in your home and there's no one here, like all those things. So we go through all the steps and try and paint a reality of, maybe it is best to move to a community where you have care, right?
Yeah.
It's hard. And we talk to the kids, right? And we talk to, like, have conversations, those hard conversations that
The family
they're
involved.
happy to have someone like us involved, because we're kind of like that third party professional that's kind of like guiding mediating like through like
Yep.
the kids and the parents, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, that's
No,
something we're really focused on.
I think that's great because I feel like they're definitely like out of the loop with like the housing market and everything. And now that time is coming and they're just like, who do I go to? Does anyone even
Yeah,
care? And you guys are right there
right.
to help them.
And that senior group, they really don't care what's happening so much with real estate, interest
Mm,
rates, what's happening with politics. If when they need to move, they need to move, whether it's
mm,
because, they fell and broke their hip, or they want to be closer to their grandkids, or one of the spouse, one of them passed away, now they're alone, right? When they need to move, most of them have their house paid off. So it's not about the real estate transaction per se. It's just
mhm.
like it's a need, right? Like they
Yeah,
need to figure out a change in their life,
no,
right? To make
that's a
the
good point.
Yeah. So that's also why from a business standpoint, we see it's a sustainable business to
Yeah,
kind of go into. helping people like this, truly helping them. But we have, there's a lot of them out there that need that kind of help, right?
Absolutely. And where do you see yourself personally in the next 5 years and with your business?
Wow. I really, I feel like in 5 years, we want to be this whole senior living option that we're offering. I think I really want to be the go-to like experts in the area. I think we need more professionals doing this kind of help. There's a lot out there. We're not the kind of people that are gonna like, oh, don't tell anyone we're doing this. Like, no, there should be a lot more of us helping seniors because there's a lot, 10,000 a day in this country moving. We can't service all of them, right?
No, no.
There's people that need professionals that care, that have patience to guide me. So I feel like in 5 years, we want to be the kind of like the experts in this when it comes to real estate related to this, and really be that guiding light with seniors, and teaching other agents how to really properly service seniors, and kind of be the mentors per se of this kind of
Absolutely.
industry.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And what do you like to do on your free time? I know you like to spend time with your family, but what kinds of things are you doing? Or when it's just you by yourself, you're like, I got my whiskey and my remote on the other hand. What do you like to do?
Oh man, so I was born here, but I'm from Uruguay. And in Uruguay, it's all about soccer and steaks,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
It's football,
Football.
right? Yeah, if I'm not watching a game, normally I'm watching it with my son who's 12 and he loves soccer.
Oh.
He wants to kick the ball every day. I rarely say no. I'll go this time, but I gotta stay in the car and phones and I'll watch it, or else I'll actually go kick with
Play,
him.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, soccer, and then if I'm the crazy one that like the other day in the big storm that came through, as the storm was coming through and the snow was coming down, I was grilling.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
take it.
so that's how passionate we are. I mean, I grilled the last 2 days in a row. Like it's all about like eating steaks, and that's my
Grilling it.
passion, grilling and spending time with great friends. I have some really amazing friends. um, that quality time with friends is really, really important.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
Like, cause that's like to your question, like my me time or whatever. My me
Mhm.
time is yeah, when I'm by myself, I love watching movies. But when I'm also by myself, I like spending time with friends. If I'm not with my kids, I love spending time
Yeah, no,
with
it's
friends.
good to
Yeah.
have that balance
Yeah.
in
But
your life.
my kids are everything, and that's my priority, and that's what makes me happy. If
Yeah.
any minute, my daughter's off to college, but
Oh,
we're gonna go visit her soon. So
yay. Awesome.
yeah,
Love that.
so my
That's
time with them
awesome.
is everything.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
Is there anything that I have not touched on that perhaps you would like to share on the podcast, whether it's about yourself, your industry, your business, maybe the type of services you provide? I know we touched on a lot.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I think if anything, to understand that for the general public and for agents out there that are thinking of getting into real estate's really not a transactional business. It's a relationship business, and people really need to understand it's a long game, right? It's not an immediate reward kind of business. It takes a lot of connecting with people, being purposeful, intentional with helping, right, and
Yep.
caring, and when you come from that place of contribution of helping people, helping your community, volunteering, and not volunteering with like I'm gonna try and volunteer here so I can get business. Like really just being in the community and being there as a as just helping people,
Yeah.
it comes back, right?
Yes.
And people refer you, and if you just act from a kind heart from the beginning. I was talking about customer service is like a
Hmm.
way of life. If you act this way in life in general, um, it's a relationship business. You got to build the relationships. You got to show people that you truly care, right? They say people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care,
Yes.
right?
Yes, that.
So that's how we approach, and I think it's important for people in general to understand. There's a lot involved in what we do. In other states, a lot of the stuff we do is taken care of by attorneys, right? Like we handle a lot on the back
Hmm.
end. So there's a lot of value in having a real estate professional on your side when it
Yeah.
comes to selling or buying a house or a business or commercial or whatever it is you're trying
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah, I tip my hat off to you guys because I know like the laws and policies are always changing. You guys always have to stay up to date on that. I'm just like, oh my God, can we just
Yeah,
have like 6 months of nothing changing? But
nothing
it's not like that. And you guys
constant.
are so like on top of it.
Yeah,
So,
constantly changing. Absolutely.
hmm, hmm. And now for my final question, do you have a quote, a saying, or a mantra? or maybe something that somebody has told you in the past that has resonated with you, and would you like to share that with us?
Wow, I think I just said it. I think people don't care how much you know until they know how much you
Good.
care. A lot of people, yeah, I love that saying. It's something that, because it really is like you can go off on stats and statistics and try and show how much knowledge you have in real estate, but at the end of the day, that is valuable, very valuable, but people need to know that you actually care,
Mm-hmm.
right? That you're on their side, that
Yeah.
you're there to take care of them, that you're there to answer the phone for them, right? Answer their questions. So I think, we our saying in our team is we treat everyone like family, and we mean it. It's not just like a cliche little thing, but it's all tied together to with this is that every conversation we have with a client is we think of, okay, if this was my uncle, my brother, my sister, my mother, what how would I be having this conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how would I answer this question if it was somebody I like was my family,
Yeah.
right? And sometimes the right answer is like, you're not ready yet, or no, this is not a right choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not about just making the sale. It's
Yes.
truly educating and advising people what's truly best for them,
Yeah,
right?
no, I think that's great. That compassion of just like, what if this was my family member? They don't know what to do. I want to help them and make this process easy. I love the way you look at that stuff.
Yeah.
So this is why that's your thing is customer service, and you're really like good at it, and it shows that you care
Thank you.
based on your history and just like the way you're speaking about your clients and just how much you want to look out
I
for them.
appreciate
Yeah,
that.
of
Yes.
course.
Thank you.
And then where can people find you and more information?
Our handle for all our social media is VivaNova, at, VivaNova Homes, VivaNova_Homes. And David Raffinengo, my phone number is 571-316-6100.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast and sharing all your insight and your experiences with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Eleni. It was awesome being here. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're welcome. Yeah.